Yes, you read the title. Was Tasm 2 really that bad? People be acting like I said the most outlandish thing after saying this, but after seeing a bunch of reviews on this movie saying that it's DDG, I had to sit down for myself and see if they were really telling the truth. Is this movie really that bad, or are people exaggerating because they thought they heard a KSI song in the background? So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the scene starts off with Spider-Man falling from the sky in the second greatest suit ever. I don't give a damn, the best one is the Tasm 1 suit, argue with the wall. I don't know how people don't like this suit. It may not be comic accurate, but you can't tell me this ain't clean. You got people saying that Toby's is the best. But on a real, this has to be one of the best swing scenes we've ever had. That boy moving in straight elegance through New York City looking for a reason to crash out. He finna see someone with this type cut and pull absolutely zero punches. But he catches wind of Theodore mixed with Ghetto driving a truck through the city straight murking people. He pulls up on him and politely asks him to roll down the window. And he does! This has to be top 5 worst villains already. Brody has no sense of urgency. Took a whole 30 seconds to throw a punch. This is trash. But this is where we cut to Jamie Foxx with a bunch of blueprints in his hands, and my dog, let it go. Brody holding on to about 4 strands of hair. Ain't learned nothing from the Frozen movies. You dropping your own attributes at this point. How you purposefully decreasing your own aura. Just shave it off, grow a beard, grab a suit, and boom, bap, bada bap, boom. Pow, my work here is done. But he ends up dropping the blueprints all over the street. We cut to Spidey, and bro, while people are literally getting cooked, he's over here aura farming. Rewind this for me, sir. Start and stop. Brody ain't even trying to do his job. Had to get the best flick for the Daily Bugle first. Yeah, whoever this was in the V, I feel bad for you. Gang got cooked while Spider-Man is acting like he's Henry Cavill. I would hate him too. But Spidey pulls up on Max saving him, and they have this weird interaction while Spidey says that he needs Max and he's his eyes and ears. But Brody geeked all the way out. I thought he was blushing right here. Got told for the first time his hairline isn't trash. He got one of these. They lied to you, gang. But Brody in the back of the V then stops, and his buddies in the back start blasting at the police, and these policemen really have the worst aim I done ever seen. They is standing there, no cover in sight, straight spamming, and no one has hit them. No wonder Spidey had to pull up. Y'all would have got swept by 2 guys who only know how to shoot. You're a victim. He then pulls up on the truck catching the stuff they were trying to steal. He goes after the last one getting hit by a police car and gets a call from Gwen Stacy at the graduation ceremony. And Gwen Stacy, matter of fact Emma Stone, Fobal Moan, Traffic Cone, Picture Tone, Emma Stone in 5. Sensational. But while he's on the phone, he starts to have these PTSD sightings of Captain Stacy because he told him to stay away from Gwen in the last movie before he died. And Peter has basically disregarded him completely. He tried for a bit in the first movie, but at the end he says, your dad was a lame anyways. So he is now back with her, and Pete Brody in the V.
Why are you looking at me, mother?
But he hops off the phone, catches up to the truck, has to save a father and daughter from being hit by a bus, and finally stops Brody after he done already committed mass murder across New York. Spidey really could have stopped him ages ago from the very first interaction, but he decided he wanted to be a comedian instead. Bro, there's no huzz around. What was this for? But he then makes it in time for his graduation. Shout out Stan Lee, and gives Gwen a kiss on the stage just for the aura points. People really be doing the most on that stage. Bro, just take it and go. This about to haunt bro for the rest of his life. They gon' pull this up every time he goes to get a job. But they celebrate graduating, and Peter just can't stop seeing bro. He has the most disappointing look I done ever seen. This the type face you see after asking your PE teacher to play basketball instead of Jamaican booty licking. Bro will give you the look of disgust. So after seeing his face everywhere, he decides to break up with Gwen later that night just for them to get back together throughout the movie. They is basically that one toxic couple in school that has the most over the top breakup just to be like these a week later. Happens every week. I'll be waiting in the cafeteria with my popcorn and drink getting ready for the performance. But after this whole breakup, we get a montage of Spidey going around saving people, and while he's doing this, he's also following Gwen around the city. You're probably watching this thinking how cute, he's making sure she's safe. Dog, there's a burning building right next to him. He's sitting there contemplating whether he should go and save them or continue to sit there. And I know for a fact that fire ain't just break out and get that big off the jump. He's been sitting there for a minute now. I really deeped it. Peter just don't care in this movie. You saw the amount of people he let die earlier. The aura is more important to him than anything. But after hearing all the screams, he eventually says, "Here nigga, damn," jumping over to them, and we cut to Max from earlier, and Brody has now become the biggest Spider-Man glazer in the world. Got the poster up on the wall acting like he's speaking to him, taking the word delusional to a whole new level. Even got himself a cake saying that it's from Spider-Man. Priorities are all the way messed up. He's over here buying posters and cakes. My brother, you could have been in Turkey already getting the same thing LeBron had done, life-changing procedure. You and KD are practically the same. But he then pulls up to work at Oscorp, and this level of glaze is insane, cause one of his lame ass co-workers says that he's Spider-Man and he just straight up attacks bro. Dog, it's never that deep. I know it was all in his head, but just thinking about this is crazy. I know that breath is crazy as well. Brody brushing with Spider-Man flavored toothpaste. Shout out to all my gay niggas. He then gets in the elevator and Gwen Stacy pulls up on him. Bro try to fix his head to rizz up, about a 60 overall, trying to play in the pro-am. You are not ready for the big leagues yet, my brother. Maybe one day. But she peeps his birthday flyer and bro gets straight to capping.
A friend of mine made this flyer up. I'm having a birthday party. It's a big club, a lot of celebrities. Wow. Would love to invite you. It's just the guest list is closed.
Gotta be careful what you wish for. Wanted a celebrity, you gonna have Meek Mill and Diddy pull up talking about happy birthday. The party is already cancelled. But she hops out the elevator and we cut to Harry Osborn with the worst possible cut he could have. It's stepped up what they be doing to y'all. I swear these rich kids be having all the money in the world and come out like this. Bro, who are your barbers? But on the real, they just pull bro out their ass. They never mentioned him before and suddenly he's meeting with his dying green dad. This is what you matcha niggas gon' look like in 50 years, drinking straight leaves. You're weird, buddy. You're weird! And this scene is basically the exact copy of Canute speaking to his dad, saying that the curse of the crown is now falling onto him. And Norman Osborn has to be the worst father I done ever seen. He first calls him a failure, says his cut is trash, and then tells him that the disease he has is genetic. So now Harry has to deal with being the Hulk from around the time Duke Dennis was on the block. Just peep how geeked he is to find out he was able to pass down the disease to his son. This is a sick Negro. But he then gives Harry his life's work on the disease to see if he could figure out how to stop them from becoming Yoda, and Peter's over here sending pics to J. Jonah Jameson. Brody took a selfie in the sky talking about "I saw Spider-Man in the neighborhood." Dog, how did you get these? And that boy JJJ is talking about these are crap. Who else do you know is doing it like this? I wanna know how nobody at the Daily Bugle caught on. Brody was sending pics from 100 feet in the air. Bro, how? But he then sees on the news that Norman Osborn has officially passed away and that Harry is now back and taken over Oscorp. And we then cut to Max trying to go home after work, and that lame ass co-worker from earlier tells him to stay back and check out the combobulator in the lab. Bro just making up words at this point. Whole scene sounded like he's from Baltimore. They just be saying stuff for the sake of it. But Max goes to check it even though it's his birthday, and of course ends up falling in the pool of electric eels. Platforms are made out with straight cardboard, cause how does he fall through two of them like it's nothing? You would think they would reinforce a platform that's directly above electric eels, but no, they put one screw in and called it a day. You stupid. And this whole scene really makes no sense, cause dog, how did he get a free pair of new veneers from this? Bro got what Bevo spent 10 bags on for free. This is crazy. I really just don't know what the director was thinking with this. They could have just showed us the fixed teeth in the aftermath. The eels done gave bro a whole procedure mid electric shock. Next thing you know, they giving bro the spray on hairline of doom. Dog, they done gave this man a cut and a fresh fade. Who are these eels? But the tank then explodes and we cut to Harry in a meeting, and I just can't get over this trim. Who is asking for this? Furthermore, who is giving this to you? Your barber is a straight villain. But turns out Felicia is in this movie. Bro, we could have had Black Cat. And that's how you know they will go and give Andrew the symbiote in the next movie. He was going to be a straight menace with Black Cat by his side. Incredible. But someone then comes to the table and tells Harry that Peter Parker is here to see him, and this scene was so odd to me for some reason. It just felt like they were trying to force the friendship so hard, but we never seen or heard of Harry till now, so it just felt like they had a mutual friend that left the room and now have to try and bond. Going on this whole walk throughout the city, catching up with each other. I'ma keep it a buck, this was some One Piece, straight cheeks. But we then cut to a body in the lab and Brody wakes up straight tweaking. Had a dream he done ruined his whole life, had to sit down and take a breather. But he then gets up, starts to shed his KD skin and puts on a jacket leaving, and we got Peter pulling up on Gwen after getting that I'm home alone text. Brody crossing the street with no worries in the world, he needs that right now, just for her to friend zone him right there and then. Peep the goal, he thought he was coming here to get some, Brody got nothing. They then start to walk and talk, setting some ground rules if they're gonna be friends, then this is really the guy she told you not to worry about, talking about some, he's like a brother to me. Yeah, give Brody 2 inches of room to work and suddenly he's trying to go crazy. But Gwen then tells Peter that she's moving to England for a scholarship. I used to pray for times like this. Peter, don't worry, I'ma have your goal well taken care of. Peep his face, can't believe his goal's gonna develop the London accent. I'll be mad too, I ain't gonna lie. But he then peeps something going on in the city and he's already gone. Like guys, after hearing the words, get comfortable, he took off his clothes in record time. But we then cut to Max and bro is just going to any power source he can find. That's how the tweakers be on the street. See anything white, they start running towards you like these. Brother, calm down. But a policeman pulls up on him. Max looks up and oh my gosh, his lips are chapped. I know a lot of y'all just licked your lips right there, don't think I don't know. But Max gets up, flipping a truck over him, and like 10 police cars pull up out of nowhere, immediately pulling out the poles. Got Max tweaking, telling them to stop. The same thing happened to him when he was normal. Now he's blue and it's gotten worse. Bro just can't catch a break. But he looks up to see himself on the big screen. Damn, he's chopped. Brody in the back straight, instigating. He's been waiting to see a fight for a minute now. Finna catch the worst camera angles I've ever seen. But they then hit bro with a smoke grenade that turned into damn stone flippers out of nowhere, and Max has now had enough, hitting them with a blast, killing a bunch of officers, and Spider-Man finally makes his appearance, saving one. I ain't even gonna lie, I can't even hate, this was clean. But he then starts to have a talk with Max, you know, super powered person to super powered person. Hey, that's a tongue twister. Super powered person to super. Let me show my little ass up. But Spidey ends up calming him down by saying he remembers him. They say they're gonna have a talk somewhere else, and in any situation like this, you already know someone's gotta sell the play. We got this bum ass cop shooting at Max the second he takes a step back. I swear in every single one of these movies, a human is always the one to sell the whole game for a terrible shot, just to get bodied himself.
Y'all are trash. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are trash.
But Spidey then pulls his arm down just to get hit with a blast to the chest, sending him flying back and breaking his web shooters. But he gets up, pulling a cop out the way, and these civilians are just pissing me all the way off. Cause bro, they is standing around behind the fence acting like this is a damn WWE match, chanting Spider-Man's name. Peep Shorty's face. My guy, this isn't entertainment. Go home or you will get boomed. All the screens then change to Spider-Man, and that way Max looks up to see his face gone and basically gets jealous. After hearing the chants for Spidey and people telling him his hairline is cooked, he now thinks Spider-Man set him up to get violated. But Peter knows way better than to mess with the unpopular kids. They be ready to tweak out in any second. Bro, he was one. But Max then electrocutes the great Spidey backflips, and this is easily one of my favorite scenes in the film. Just shows how fast Spider-Man thinks and how fast he actually moves to save people in the area.
Incredible.
But the people on the stairs, straight dumbasses, cause bro, the stairs lead nowhere. They is running up to get trapped just for Spidey to save them, and they run straight back down. I know Peter about mad as hell, bro has to constantly save idiots. But he weaves another attack, grabs a fire hydrant, swinging it around, and peep the weave. Brody turned blue and his black side done finally came out, but they both hit each other back, and Max is the first one to get back up, recharging himself. And one thing I will say, the visuals in this movie, sensational. And now the crowd wants to run. They is only here for when Spider-Man is winning. Other than that, Max then starts to fly, murking a bunch of people cause he feels like it. Don't call me chopped! But you know Captain Saverhole has to pull up, hitting bro out the sky with a fire hose. Brody got a fire hat on, yet he don't care about the civilians in the slightest. Asked for a fire hat while people were out here getting turned into speed dancing. Hey, they said they wanted a watch, why not feel it in 4K? The police then arrest Max and Peter goes home to give himself more stress. Bro just don't like an easy life. At this point I can't even say the writers hate Spider-Man, he's doing it to himself. So he decides to research into his parents, trying to find answers as to why they left him with his aunt and uncle that make the worst food possible. Brody's had 90-year-old lasagna for 6 weeks straight now. Release me. We then cut to Harry looking through the file his dad gave him and he finds the green Goblin suit. And I ain't even gonna lie, I like the one from Tobey's Spider-Man way more. Even though it looks like a Power Rangers villain, the one from this movie just looks like a random local nitty that found a super powered suit and started terrorizing people for no reason. Brody got teeth like he's in wolf blood. If you know, you know. But he then also finds a vid of his dad and Peter's dad talking about the spider experiments they were doing and how they can self-heal. Brody instantly got geeked, heard self-heal and thought about his hairline. So he calls Peter the next day telling him to pull up and tells him that he needs Spider-Man's blood to heal him cause somehow the spiders actually worked on him. And I don't care what no one says, Peter is a straight L-mans over here talking about some it ain't going, nah, it ain't gonna work. Acting like Brody has any other options. Either he dies or he uses the blood and there's a chance he lives, and if he does turn into some giant spider villain, just slime him out anyways. Like bro, we have testing machines for a reason. Got that boy Harry pleading with him and just look at his face. Yeah, he don't give a damn. Brody spawned back in his life like 2 days ago and now he wants his blood. We do not care. But he leaves saying that he's gonna try to find Spider-Man, and Gwen is over here getting hawked down by security after trying to research Max Dillon cause they tried to cover up his supposed death. All she found was his secret rap career, talking about some
She got the whistling grip when I fuck her. Tire smoked it.
Weird, buddy. You're weird.
But Peter runs into her, they hide in a closet and she tells him everything she found out, including that bro's iced JJ fish. They then hop out the closet and Peter distracts the guards while Gwen hops in the elevator, just for Harry to pull up on her out of nowhere. Bro's just teleporting around cause there's no way she ain't peeped the cut the second she walked in. I've been dissing Harry way too much this video, my fault gang. But he basically low-key threatens her right here, saying that Peter needs her to make his choices clear. Hey, I don't even know if this was an actual threat, but I would've hit bro with a 1-2 right there and then. Nigga, those are fighting words. But Peter then goes back to the crib and Aunt May tells him everything she knows about his father, basically saying that bro was just trying to stack his bread, hit the dash with his research, trying to sell it off to some randoms. He pulled up on them thinking he was about to get 100 mil cash just to get a gun to the face. You stupid. Got his wife in the back talking about some we don't speak burrito. Brody had to hit the salsa just to keep his life. And after hearing this, Peter decides he's gonna follow in the footsteps of his father and be an L-mans, pulling up on Harry as Spider-Man just to tell him no. My dog, this could have been an email. Brody just wanted to see him crash out in the flesh.
You're a fraud, Spider-Man!
And I ain't even gonna lie, Harry is low-key way too obsessed with this. His dad lived a long life, died around 60 or 70. Harry just started to see symptoms. My brother, just ask to at least run tests, you've got time. But Peter then pulls up on Gwen as she's on her way to a scholarship interview, and dog, how has no one seen a random 5'10" guy swinging across the city? New Yorkers really have no peripheral vision in the slightest, just walking straight forward. Whatever happens around them happens, they just couldn't care less. But he starts chirping like he's a tweaker, talking about all his problems, but we don't care. She then leaves for an interview and Peter goes back home tweaking out cause he knows his goal's about to get taken by London Drewski, and he ends up throwing his calculator. And this scene is so dumb. He ends up finding some hidden coins that end up leading to an underground train in an abandoned train station. Hey, this writing is so cheeks that is great. Let's give a round of applause to the writers. His dad just left them coins there, just hoping that Peter would be the one to find them. He could have sold the calculator to his friends while they were kids, and suddenly you got Timmy Tough Knuckles in your secret train finding out about your deepest and darkest secrets, that you were at the Diddy parties. And not even just there, you were the life of the party. oh no. But Peter basically finds out that it was all cap, and Norma was trying to make bioweapons with the spiders, so Peter's dad made it so the spider bite would only work with his DNA, which is the reason that Peter and only Peter could become Spider-Man. Now I know a lot of people don't seem to like this, but to me this was low-key tough, made it seem like he was destined for this. But we then cut over to Harry, and the beautiful black cat pulls up on him, saying that she overheard the higher up saying that they kept the venom of the spiders in the building even though they killed them. And Shorty really is a 10 out of 10 instigator, already got the badge on Hall of Fame. She's only been on screen twice, cause the rest of the events in the movie would have never happened if she hadn't told him to research special projects. I'ma have to give her a 10 out of 10 already. But he goes searching and finds out everything about Max, just to get framed 4 effing seconds later by one of the unks of the company for allowing this illegal activity to go on. So he basically gets fired.
I know my way out.
Bro thought this was tough, nigga got a V on his head. Oh, calm down, Jamal.
Don't pull out the 9.
And hey, I guess I was wrong, Brody is tough, cause in the next scene he takes out 2 guards at the prison by himself with ease. They just be hiring anyone from this job. Peep how long it took for bro to pull out his taser. Dog, you suck. Bro was scrambling around like he's a white girl being chased in a horror movie, gonna fall on absolutely nothing. You oughta be ashamed of yourself. But he then sneaks into the prison pulling up on Electro, and he's really over here talking about some psst. This has to be the most obvious undercover cop I've ever seen. Brody really said psst. Type of guy to try and buy some and be talking about some.
People call them the perks, but I believe they're fentanyl.
But Electro wakes up and Harry really hits him with a
No, Maxwell Dent, you're a genius!
And that's really all it takes to get bro to join him. Electro is just insecure as hell. He hears the words I need you and is over here talking about some oh my gosh, he needs me, I must do everything in my power to help him. Shut your lame ass up. The guards then pull up. Harry tases Electro and bro gon' disintegrate into pure energy, and that's GG. He reappears, grabs the professor and puts bro in the cell that he was in. This nigga is crazy. Went from a goody two shoes to the second coming of King Vaughn. Guys really get their first ski and completely switch up. This is crazy. But we then see Unc from Oscorp and boom nigga, Electro pulls up, and what is that suit? Brody looks like he's part of the 2015 Fantastic Four squad. Who gave you this and told it was hard? They capped. Guys really be putting on anything for the fashion, my dog. This is not a banger.
This is not a banger, and I know bangers.
Harry then pulls up and he's over here geeking, put the S on his head and everything. The get back will be generational. And Unc has to be one of the dumbest people I done ever seen. He's over here talking crazy like there isn't an electric bold blue man right in front of him that just slammed out his guard. Epic though, bro, it's your life. Cause he gets hit with a blast dying, and the next thing that happens, I ain't gonna lie, this was low-key tough. Cause they gon' jumpstart this man's heart back up and say it's a bonus round. Hey, this is a banger. Just getting all my respect right here. I'ma stop making fun of your cut now. He then tells Electro that he can have the power grid since he's the one that made it, and they take a walk down to the secret projects room and he gives them the spider venom that they capped about destroying. Just for bro to start tweaking instantly, talking about some get this. This scene was really just nasty, but a great transformation into becoming the Green Goblin. Suit started calling bro like the pole the second certain guys start getting tested. But we cut to Peter and he gets a voicemail from Gwen saying that she's going to Oxford right now for a summer program. She's not even in the country yet, and I already know that's my ball. But I ain't gonna lie, this was low-key Riz. Learned this move from me for real. I taught the same thing to Gumball. Incredible. He then takes her to the top of the bridge. They get back together and he gon' completely disregard New York, saying that he's gonna move to London with her. Hey, at least it's only a one-on-one. The goalie is not stopping me. And Brody really prepared to backdoor his own city. This is crazy. Crime rate's gonna go up like crazy. If the Knicks win the chip while he's not there, it's gonna turn into damn Gotham. But just as they're having this moment, all the power in the city goes out except from the power grid. They instantly knew it was Electro. Brody couldn't make this more obvious. And I ain't gonna lie, this was pretty cool with Gwen giving him the answer to magnetize his web so the electricity won't affect it. So they hit them with some copper wires and jumpstart them, and he leaves Gwen there going to fight. And apparently from the most reliable source of trust me bro, her saying Peter here was actually by accident. And if this was true, this is kinda tough. And if not, whoever told me that, I will find you. But Spidey then pulls up on Electro, and like I said before, this movie may be some hot ass, but the visuals are peak. Whole budget went to the visual team, writers got paid in rupees. He then follows him to the power grid, jumps down to the water trying to hit him with it, but that don't work. Got that boy Electro on his knees mid-air. Oh, you gay. But he then blasts Spidey, and I ain't even gonna lie, this fight was so exceptionally tough, it's insane. Cause he hits him with a foot to the face, jump to weave, and metal piece to the face. He then tackles him to the ground, and Electro really gonna hit him with his electric breath. My boy, you're made out of electricity, how does your breath still stink? But he gets kicked off and grabbed, and we see the magnetized webs actually come into play, and he hits him with a get your ass down. But Electro gets back up, and that hit that made bro switch careers. He starts playing itsy bitsy spider with bro's body. Oh no, how was you ass at being a villain and an artist? Nigga, pick a struggle. But he then grabs him, copying Syndrome's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar, just for Gwen Stacy to hit bro with the V. Brody is straight cheeks. How can you turn into electricity and get hit by a car? Dog, you suck. But she hops out the V, saying that she's here by her choice, and knowing damn well she ain't about to leave, Peter tells her to reset the system on his command. Electro then wakes up, and the first thing he does is flex the new veneers. I don't even blame him, it's his only positive attribute. He then gets up, and before the fight can even start, Peter's already seeing Captain Stacy, so we all know what's about to go down. But the squabbles start, and this has to be one of the most beautiful Spider-Man scenes we've ever seen. Brody is straight bobbing and weaving electricity. Sensational. He then connects back all the cables, gets hit with a blast but puts them all together and tells Gwen to reset the system, hitting bro with a Uno reverse, giving him too much power, and that is now ball game.
Who decided that? Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Gwen, stay there.
They done made Harry into an absolute tweaker, done gave himself matte black teeth. This is crazy. Hey, at least he fixed his car. Anything is better than this. But he peeps Gwen behind him, and like, guys, after realizing you left him for the hose, he clocks that Peter is Spider-Man, and now he's even more mad.
You were my friend, and you left me for the coochie, so no more coochie for you.
Come here, Ma! He flies off with Gwen, and I don't know how he's so good with the glider, but he's got about 5 minutes of experience with it, and he's whipping it around like a straight vet. But they climb up to the tower, and Harry drops Gwen back down to him, with Spidey jumping up to grab her and landing in the clock tower.
Hello, motherfucker.
But Peter puts her down on the screw, and Harry is straight cheeks. He never had a fight in his life. He was looking around, ain't know what to do. This was straight light works for Spidey. But Gwen starts to fall. Peter catches her, trying to bring her back up, just for bro to come back for seconds. He pulls out wherever this is, weave, and bro is trying to push his face back. Bro, your breath stinks. Headbutt. He then wraps the web around his neck and starts to choke him. Pause. And has to stop the clock with his foot, otherwise it's about to cut the web holding Gwen. But the whole thing ends up breaking, cutting the web, and first of all, who the is this nigga? You stunt doubles can't hide from me. Y'all were doing the same thing in Cobra Kai. Don't think I didn't peep you. But Peter jumps down trying to catch Gwen, and we all know what happens. No, it should have been her. We then get this super emotional moment with Peter realizing that she's dead, and this whole deal had me tearing up, I ain't gonna lie. Brody was sitting at her grave 24/7, ain't have a shower in days. Oh, no. And the fact throughout the whole movie he was contemplating on whether or not he should be with her, just for it to end like this. But we then cut to Harry in prison, and bro is out here putting together the Sinister Six. And to be honest, Brody has no reason to be doing all this. I can't think of a single excuse that he would have to want to put a group of crash outs together to take out Spider-Man. This is pure love of the game at this point. His only thought process is that Spider-Man didn't want to risk his life to save it. Dog, it's never that deep. But his first person on the list is Rhino, and he's out here straight terrorizing the public. And yet again, we got a whole crowd. These really have to be top 5 dumbest civilians I don't ever seen in a movie. They are spectating like it's a game. Bro, you will get smoked. And the police barriers are even worse, cause a little kid is able to slip past them, hitting straight routes on the policemen. They need to be fired effective immediately. So he pulls up on the fake Rhino getting ready for the smoke, just for the real Spider-Man to finally make his appearance after 5 months of hitting a Corey Kenshin. He then tells him to go back to his mom, and the final squabble of the movie commences, and this is now the end of the movie. And remember what he said in No Way Home about he stopped pulling punches? Just imagine the beatdown he gave the Rhino right here. Crowd went from cheering to quiet real quick. They ain't never seen Spider-Man after his snow bunny died. Dangerous man. But we have now officially reached the end of the movie, and I ain't gonna lie, after rewatching this, I can say this was some straight cheeks. I was holding out hope, just hoping I was gonna be able to prove all the haters wrong, but I can't. I'ma keep it a buck. This was given high school project. Emma and Andrew definitely carried this movie, and Jamie and Dane did what they could with the cards they were dealt. I just really dislike what they did with Electro. I don't know if he's like this in the comics, but they made bro some nigga that needs acceptance 24/7, talking about some
Yes.
But all I can say is that yes, this movie was low-key ass. I'ma have to give it a cool 5.5 out of 10. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid. All glory to God, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.